Hello and welcome to the Basecamp tutorial on how to boost a post on Facebook or Instagram. For this purpose of this video, we're going to start here at the Kid2Kid Basecamp main page. And the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you're signed in as the page administrator up here on the account, and then navigate to the left-hand side where it says Meta Business Suite and click on that. You're going to navigate here to the back-end settings portion of your portal, but we're going to keep going here and again click on ads in the left-hand menu. Once here, you're going to see this dashboard, which could give you an overview of all the ads that you've ran in the past. But for today, because we're going to be showing you how to boost a post through the Meta Business Manager through Ads Manager here, we're going to click on this, which will take you to the back end of your ads. Once here, you're going to want to make sure that you are in the correct campaign level bucket here, and for this we're going to be putting this in the National Marketing Program bucket. For your individual store that might look different. I would just ensure that you are in the correct one that you have your credit card and account attached to. So once you're here, you're going to see these are all the campaigns that we have set up for the National Marketing Program, but for this test we need to create a new campaign that we're going to house our boosted posts in. So we're going to click create, and you're going to have a couple options here to start out. First, you're going to see buying type, and you're going to want to make sure that it's always set to auction. Next, you're going to have a couple campaign objectives versus awareness, traffic engagement, leads, ad promotion, and sales. Because we're trying to boost a post that's coming off of our Facebook or Instagram account, we are going to choose the engagement level campaign objective here, which is going to optimize for post engagements, likes, comments, shares, and views. Once we have that selected, we'll press continue. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to show you how to be setting this up yourself, and so you want to click the manual setup down on the bottom and then go ahead and click continue again. Once here, you're going to have three different buckets where we're going to be going through different setups at the different levels. You can see them on the upper left hand side here. This top level one is your campaign level set, the next is your ad set level, and below that is your ad level. And at each of these we'll be showing you how to set this up. So first we're going to set up our campaign name. So I'm just setting this up so we know not to use it for later, but you can name that whatever you want. You can name it Kid2Kid Boosted Post, just something that you'll recognize and be able to remember later. The next section here is for special ad categories. You're only going to change this if you're looking to set up ads for credit, employment, housing. For us, we're just trying to drive store traffic, so you're just going to leave this category alone entirely. Your campaign details is going to kind of go over what you just set up in the previous window. We have our buying type as auction, our campaign objective as engagement, and this is where you can also add a campaign spending limit to ensure if you do not want to ever spend a certain amount of money over the top of what you have in this number, you can click edit and add that in here as well. Next bucket is for the campaign or the Advantage Campaign Plus. What this allows you to do is set your budget at the campaign level. If you wanted to have multiple ad sets, which I'll show you in a minute, all working off of the same budget, you can change this up and say, I'm going to have 5 boosted posts over the course of the month, and I want them all to use the same $1,000 budget. What Facebook then allows you to do is each of those ad sets will optimize against that one budget, and if one starts to outperform the other, it will take more money out of that budget than the others. If you want to make sure that each of your boosted posts has the same amount of money to boost against or the same amount budget amount, you want to turn this off. So for the purpose of this test, we will be turning that off today. Once you have that set, go to the bottom right and go ahead and click that next, and then this will take us down to where we can edit our ad set. And I'm going to go ahead and name this test do not use, again just to remember later. This is just for the video purposes. And I just want to note too, on the upper left hand corner, if you ever need to navigate in between these different levels, you can always go back and click up here to go back to your campaign level and then down to ad set level. So we're going to stay here and we're going to look at our conversion window next. So where do we want to have these conversion locations? So where are we trying to drive engagement? So we want to have people engage on the ad or on the post. You can have people, you can change this up if you want people to say, go to your Facebook page, go to the group, click to your website. But for this, because we want people to engage, like, comment, share, we want to have it happen on our ad itself. Our engagement type, what we want. If we get a static post, is a reel. If you're boosting a reel off your page, I would suggest optimizing this for video views. If you're going to be using a static post like we are today, we're going to be using post engagement. So I'll go ahead and switch that. And we want to make sure this performance goal matches up. So we want to maximize the engagements of the post. So we want the most likes, the most comments, the most shares. So you can change that up if you'd like, but for today we're going to keep that on maximize engagement with the post. And then you can even set this optional goal for cost per result, which controls your cost per click. We're going to leave that blank today and let Facebook's algorithm optimize its best bid strategy for us, which is always a good option. Next, we're going to go down to our budget and schedule. So this means how much money do we want to spend and how long we want it to run. I always recommend using a lifetime budget, which allows you to gatekeep how much you're going to spend over a certain period of time. For this test, I'm going to spend $500, and that will ensure that no matter what happens, I will never spend more than $500 on this boosted post. I want to go down here next to schedule and set when do we want this to run. So we'll have that start as today, at today's time, and our end date is going to be 3 weeks in the future. I never recommend boosting a post for shorter than a week or shorter than 2 weeks. 2 weeks is a great amount of time for Facebook to learn and optimize that ad and make sure that it is flighting that ad to the right people who are going to get the most engagement for you. Anything shorter than that, you run the risk of Facebook rushing that process, and sometimes you can lose out on good paying customers, or the ad might optimize to an audience that you don't want it to go to. So for the purpose of this test, we will be sticking this at a lifetime budget of $500, and we will be having this run for 3 weeks. Something to note while we're going through this process is your audience definition up here on the right. This shows you how narrow, broad, or in the middle your audience is at any given point in time. So as you increase or decrease some of these numbers on the page, you might see that number change. So if I change this to $5,000, you'll see this audience, you see these numbers change. So if we go down here, you'll want to leave these blank for now because we're just doing a boosted post, and that's going to bring us down to audience control. So this is where you're going to have the ability to change the location of your targeted ad, the people you want to boost it to, and the interests that your current audience is interested in, which helps Facebook determine who to show the ad to. So for this test, we are actually going to change this over to a previous audience. So we want to click on switch to original audience options. So this is going to give us a lot easier way to target and get more detailed on who we reach. Once you've clicked over to that, this is where we're going to be able to change your audience settings. So for this test, we're going to target Holland, Michigan. So we have a new store opening in Holland here soon. So this is where we can see geographically where we want to show the ad. 25 miles shows a lot of Lake Michigan, so we're going to pull this down to 10 miles, and you'll see how the map changes. Now with that change, you'll also see that our audience size on the right changed. So going from 200 to 340 million, now we're down to 118 to 139,000, which is representing people in this geographical area that we can target. Now we're going to get a little more detailed than that. We know that there are certain age demographics that we want in and out of our stores, and people that we want bringing us gear to sell to us, and then also people we want to bring in to buy. So we're going to change this date range from 18 on the bottom end to 50. You can even select genders if you want to just do target males or females. For this test, we're going to leave this completely wide open. Again, this leaves Facebook the ability to decide who the best audience is to reach, whether it be men or women, based on the creative. Next, you're going to want to go to detailed targeting. This is going to give us the ability to find specific interests, behaviors, or demographics about our audience that we want to show our ads to. It says we're using this for kid to kid today. We're going to be targeting parents. So if you type in parents in this box, it's going to give you a bunch of demographic data that we can then pull and target for this ad. So we want to have people target parents with kids from newborn up to 12 months. And then we're going to keep typing in parents here until we pull in all of these different age brackets, so 0 to 2 years. And what this is going to ensure is that we are serving ads to people with kids in these age ranges that we know would be prospects to either bring in clothes to sell to us or to come shop in our store. So we're going to go through this process until we have everybody pretty much all the way up to 18, so 13 to 17. And then that's our demographic data. Now, if you want to look at interest targets, so you could type in kids toys. So if you're interested in kids toys, you could try to find those. Sometimes if you type in stuff in here, you're not going to find it. So we can find in children's clothing, so we know that's one. And we can click on that, and you can see how big the audience is if you hover over it next in the box next to it and show you how many people are in there. We'll click on children's clothing, and that's going to help us define our audience even further. Now you can play around and toy with this process as much as you want, but you want to make sure that you're leaving it just in that green area so it's not too specific, not too broad, to make sure your audience is well defined. So if you ever have any questions about this interest targeting, you can always reach out to a Basecamp member marketing team, and we can have a much longer detailed conversation about targeting. So that's all we're going to do here. And one thing you want to be sure that you do is, if you want to use this audience later, click this save button. You can name it what you want. Again, I'm going to give it some name that makes me remember that we are not going to use this later for the National Marketing Program, and I'm going to do save as new. So anytime you come back to create a new ad, you can always click on this, have a drop down, and you can see there's our saved audience. So the next time you come and boost a post, you can just click on this and save yourself the process of setting this whole thing up again next time you want to boost around your store. Then we're going to click the next button, and it's going to bring us now down to the ad level here. So again, you can always navigate between the three over here on the left, but now we're just going to name our ad Boosted Posts number 1. And so the next thing you want to do is make sure you have the right page identity. You'll see I have lots listed here because I'm an admin. We want to make sure that we are both on the Kid to Kid Facebook page and the Kid to Kid Facebook or Instagram account. And so for the purpose of this test, because we want to boost a post that's coming off your page, we want to use this use existing post setting. Now, if you can also create an ad or use Creative Hub to mock one up. We can do a video on that on a later date, but today we're going to use existing posts. Next, you want to go down to the Ad Creative. This is where you can select which post that you want to boost from your Instagram or Facebook account. Once you click this, it's going to show you Facebook, Instagram, or partner content. Just ignore that one for now. And it's going to show you all the different posts available on your page that you can boost. You can boost it from Instagram or from Facebook. And it's important to note at this stage that if you set up an ad in this way, it will display on both platforms. This is what we call the Meta Display Network. We'll get into that soon. So for this test, we're going to be picking this ad right here on top. Click that and then press continue. And what that does is that pulls in the creative from this Facebook post and shows you what it will look like now as it is boosted, or will display as an ad on different platforms between Facebook and Instagram, which you can preview here on the right. As you scroll down, you'll be able to see your primary text, which is going to be the copy of your post, which, because you're pulling it off of your Instagram account or Facebook account, you can't edit here. However, Facebook has a new option to let you do different text variations, and even gives you some suggestions written by AI that you can select and have as part of your ad. And what this does is it gives Meta or Facebook and Instagram the ability to decide which copy might work best to drive the best results. So if this copy line might deliver better to one person and this copy line to another, it'll interchange those copy lines in the ad before it delivers to somebody to try to drive the best result or click-through or engagement with that post. You can choose to use these or you cannot. It is always an option. As we scroll down, you'll see on these ads in the preview, you'll see your call to action here. So we can actually change this by going to learn more. So for the purpose of this, we want to send people to kidtokid.com. So you'll get the actual URL, copy and paste it in there, update, and as you make these updates, you'll see the previews on the right-hand side update as well. So now you'll see that our ad preview for Facebook, instead of saying send us a message, now it says learn more, and it will drive traffic to whatever URL you put into that placement. Next, if you want to edit the placement, this is where you can do that. So there's various different areas that you can display an ad within the Meta Display Network. You have in-feed, you have stories, you have reels, you have search results, all these different places you can display this ad. As you look through this creative, if you see one that doesn't seem to be formatted correctly, as you preview these. So this would be an Instagram story now, this would be Facebook story, and this would be how it displays in Facebook video feeds or in Instagram Explorer. You can edit how that looks, shows up by clicking in these different areas here. You can open this up and you can even see, you can even change the photo, you can crop the photo, you can change the headline of the text. You always want to double check these to make sure that your creative isn't displaying incorrectly. So I recommend going through all of them. An easy way to do this also is by clicking this advanced preview option, which will give you this screen right here, and it'll show you basically all the different areas where your message and ad will display in the Meta Display Network, all in one place, so you can look at them side by side. Once you're happy with how your creative looks, you continue to go down and you want to make sure you're clicking tracking on website events, because that's going to make sure it's tracking on our back end for the website, so we know and can track that website traffic. And once you're happy with that, I always want to encourage you, because this is the end of the process, to double check your work. Again, you can always navigate between these different areas. So the campaign level, you can check your name, make sure you have your auction type, campaign objective correct. You can go down to your ad set level and review your ad set name, where you want your conversions to happen, your budget, so ensuring that you have the correct lifetime budget, the correct schedule. And then once you're happy with all that, come back down to here. Just real quick, I'm just turning off and putting this in draft, just so it doesn't publish when I actually do this. Once you are happy with your ad and your creative and you double checked everything, you can push publish. Once that's done, Facebook will then publish this ad, and it will then begin displaying, once it's through the review process, to the different places in the ad network and to the audience that you designated as a boosted ad. Once you're done with that, you can always click out of here and navigate here and see your different campaign levels. So you can go to your campaign, here's our tests, here's our ad set, and here's our new ad. You'll see that it's in draft right now, but once it is actually published, you'll be able to see that. One thing to notice is, let's say you want to boost another post. You can actually do that within the same campaign level. So you'll see here's our ad set that we created for the first boosted post. And instead of going through all the same work that you just did before, Facebook has a nice feature that allows you to just duplicate this. And what that'll allow you to do, it'll allow you to keep your campaign objective on engagement, it'll keep your auction level, it'll save your audience, it'll save your interest targeting, and it'll even save the posts you have in there. So all you have to do is duplicate it once. It's going to create a nice little copy, which you can see here. And all you do is click into here, find this ad, which is the new copy of the ad you just created, go to edit, and then go through this process again of creating a new ad from here. And that is everything for today. So thank you very much. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to your marketing professionals at Basecamp Franchising, and I hope you have a great day.